Welcome to another Empires and Puzzles Books video. Today I want to talk a bit about hero grades. Topic comes up from time to time as players are always interested in getting guidance and advice on which heroes to level as resources are light, and it's important that we make good decisions in finishing off our heroes and deciding who to emblem and all those sorts of questions that we have as we build our teams. And I have been asked multiple times now to do my own hero grading and put out hero grading. And let me just say, for the record, you will never see hero grading coming from me in the traditional sense of what most players mean as far as hero grading. And I'll tell you why. I'm not a fan of hero grades at all from anyone. When I first started playing 2 years ago, I, like many players, went and sought as much information as I could to make informed decisions about the game, and I started looking at hero grading charts. And then I started playing and I started getting competitive, and I started finding enormous errors in hero grading charts. It doesn't matter whose they are, they are all loaded with errors, in my opinion. And I came to the realization that hero grades are not as useful as a tool as some may think they are. And that is my opinion. And it stems from this very simple question. In my world, whenever I've received a grade, it was in response to an assignment. It was in response to an exam. I went out and got tested, and I received my grade. So my question to all of you is, those that are doing hero grading, what is the test? Where has the heroes been tested? Are they even tested? Or are the hero grades merely a subjective viewpoint of an in-depth analysis of what's available on the card that we can read? We see this all the time. New heroes are released, and within hours or days, there's a new hero gradings out on these heroes. And I have to ask, where does the grade come from? What was the test? What was the assessment? So in lieu of hero grading, I'm going to make a suggestion on better places to find information on how well heroes perform. And it's readily available to all of us, and it's what I now use in making my informed decisions on the heroes that I want to fully level and use. So number one, look at the top teams on the weekly raid tournaments. See what teams' defenses are working. Now, that is a skewed viewpoint because we're only seeing the defense teams, but it does give some indication of hero viability. Along that lines, we can look at the top teams, top players in the Mythic Titan, in the Ninja Tower, in the monthly challenge events. They just recently made a change to the game that the top players, or any player at this point, can't go into the monthly challenge event and just put a goofy team in. I used to do that. I used to put 5 Dawas up, so people were not seeing the strategies that I was using. Well, those days are now gone. With the last update, SG has now changed it so that we will all be able to view the last team a player used whenever they improved a score on these events. So that'll give us a huge insight to the offensive nature of some of these heroes, at least in the challenge events and the Ninja Tower. So those are some really good data points. That is objective evidence, not subjective opinion. These are real world examples, tests. These are the exams. These are the places that heroes truly show a grade. Another place I would recommend getting hero grades is your own rating and war. You rate enough and war enough, you get an inherent feeling for which of your heroes are working and which heroes are a pain to go against in defense. We don't need a grading chart to tell us that Frigg is a pain. We didn't need a grading chart to know that Taloria was a tough tank. We've seen that from playing. So if you're cautious about your leveling, then just take some time with new heroes and see what the community is doing with these heroes. Another place to get test grades, if you will, on heroes is to watch lots of videos. We'll see the videos of players that are putting out information, not analysis of the heroes, but actually showing what the heroes can do, how they're interacting, and using their environment. One of the challenges with hero grading, based solely on a subjective viewpoint of reading the card, is how does that take into synergy with several hundred other heroes and how they get added together? And what does it mean if a hero that has an X rating gets combined with a Y-rated hero? Are they now, a miraculous combination that is now an A team, even though they may have been terrible separately? So the team synergy, I think, is an important component in evaluating a hero. Another piece of this puzzle that often gets overlooked is play style. I had a player ask me this week about doing a video using just heroes that have damage over time. It doesn't fit my playstyle. I'm not a big fan of Dot. Months ago, I wasn't a fan of minion heroes, and I'm starting to get swayed a little bit and starting to use more minions. But what good is it for you, a player, to go to a random grading chart and look at a hero and say, oh wow, they're rated by A. Everybody thinks this hero is the best thing ever. So I feel confident I'm gonna level that hero now, and I will have an A hero. But what if it doesn't fit your style? What if you don't enjoy actually playing with the hero? If this is a game on some level, hopefully we should enjoy what we're doing and not just trying to build some cookie cutter copy and paste team that everybody says is the ideal, and the gradings say that, yes, this is the one to go. Another question I think that's always worth asking is, who are the subjective viewers that are writing the grades and evaluating these heroes, and what have they accomplished with these heroes? For example, I got in a conversation in the last 24 hours with a couple of players, actually a couple different conversations with players about Costume Elkinen. And I said, he's a fantastic hero. That's my opinion. I think Elkinen is a fantastic hero, my opinion. And they replied back, well, he only has a C grade. And if you go out and look, you'll see him with anywhere from a C grade to a B grade to a B plus grade. I mean, there's all sorts of gradings out there on Costume Elkinen. So he must not be that great, I guess. But in my opinion, I think he's fantastic. And the facts, the objective facts and data I use to support that is one part is an analysis of the card. Costume Elkinen hits 3 enemies harder than any other nature hero until they buffed the Hatter and they released Bertilla. So he's still 3rd strongest for hitting 3, which is important to me for hit 3 events like the Ninja Tower and the challenge events. Another place that I would use to support my opinion that Costume Elkinen is a fantastic hero is looking at real world data. I used Costume Elkinen extensively in both Ninja Towers and placed 8th place in both. The last Ninja Tower, I used him in 19 of the 50 levels, and I specifically used him on the last 5 floors of the Ninja Tower. And that has obviously worked out well for me. December, I was in the top 50 in the challenge event, and I used Elkinen for many of the levels for the legendary challenge event in December. And I use Costume Elkinen almost daily in top 100 rating globally. So those are the facts that I use to look at a hero. If I was somebody, as I'm seeing a number of people pulled Costume Elkinen this week, are going out and seeking information, if they're looking at hero grading charts, you may be left with the impression that he's a subpar hero and not worthwhile. And my opinion varies on that to some of the gradings that I've seen, and I base that on actual data and facts that I'm seeing in real world test examples. So again, I think there's a lot of great information out there, and I don't want to say that hero grades are completely useless, but I would put them up there on the same level as the charts I've seen where they recommend which column that you put heroes in, if they should be left or right wing, left or right flank, or tank. That again is subjective interpretation. Some of it's based on what we see at times in raids and things, but I've not found those to be entirely accurate either. One of the things that I've been doing for quite a while now is data logging at least the top 5 finishers, their entire teams on the weekly raid tournaments. And when you look at that data, it is hugely contrary to grading charts out there, especially, even grading charts that rate the heroes for the weekly tournaments. There's indications out there that XYZ hero is not good for this type of tournament, but yet we see that hero on 10% of the top 5 defense teams. So there's got to be a better test out there to give a grade. So I guess in closing, I would just suggest that any information that you see out there on the game, including the stuff that I put out there, be critical of it, be questioning of it. Don't take anything as the devout word out there. This is all subjective, or I shouldn't say all, because some of the stuff that I'm putting out there, and I know some other players put out there, is objective, research, data-driven, factual stuff. But even when I put out my research, data-driven, factual stuff, I still interpret that, which is still subjective in my opinion and my play style. So I guess what I'm saying is, with a grain of salt, take in all this information. Go ahead and look at the grading charts if you find them interesting or helpful. Look at the information that I put out if you find that interesting and helpful. Compare that to the real world results, the real test grades, who is competing with what and how are they winning with that. And then apply that to your own play style. And most importantly, use your own brain. It's your game to figure out. Figure out these heroes, look at them, take all the information in from everybody else, cut out the stuff that you think is not valuable, highlight the things for yourself that you feel are valuable and what'll match your play style, and come up with your own hero grade. Not that you got to sit down there and rate, attack, defense, and all those things down to the detail, but just get a sense of which heroes you truly value. I hope this helps. I hope it gives you a different perspective, and at a minimum, I hope this answers the question as to why you will never see hero grades coming out of Empires and Puzzles books. I just don't think subjective grading is the way to evaluate a hero. I prefer real-world results and the heroes that are showing that they can win. Enjoy your game. Wishing you the best of tiles as always. Thank you.